Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Unapologetic Voices. I'm Thomas Tripp, joined by me as co-host Kyle-Elio Torres. On the show, we talk about everything and anything, and we hope you find it entertaining, and if you don't, honestly, we don't care. Please reach out to us at unapologeticvoices1@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay unapologetic, and enjoy. Show me your thumbs. Yeah, you got them witch claws growing. They caught the light. I saw how you're talking, and you know how you talk with your hands? I was like, oh shit.
Don't worry about that.
It's alright.
I haven't clipped them, but I clipped these ones like a while ago.
That's a sign of good health as your nails keep growing. Mine grow exponentially fast for some reason, so it must be good.
Oh, okay. Mine don't grow too fast. It's like a week and a half, maybe.
No, that's good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
that's very good. Because I used to read about a lot of health. I was very into Asian medicines and stuff like that at some point in my life. I read a lot into how your body shows you.
I just had
things.
This is a side note. I just had a Vietnam flashback of Chinese remedies that I fucking hated because my mom would do some of them.
Lord have mercy. She used to stab you with needles?
No. But if you want to finish what you're going to say,
no, I'm good.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We've been very good this podcast.
So,
we've only had
there was this one thing. I don't know if this is a real fucking Hispanic bullshit.
Okay.
But there is this thing that my mom used to call, which she called it...
horchata.
No, it's called... Dutsa?
Dutsa.
And she would take 2 fingers...
Oh, boy.
Put a cloth on it, right? Fucking put some sort of miracle ingredients on it where she would get
Vaseline.
Salt, honey, fucking stuff that's actually okay, right? But salt, honey, lime, and a couple other citric stuff. And she would swirl her finger in the juice, right? And then she would say, "Hey, you have a sore throat, you said? Come here." And she would grab me by the fucking chin and fucking shove it down my throat.
Wow.
Her 2 big ass fingers, and then I would have fucking honey and all this other shit and salt just jammed into my throat. And she's like, "It's good for you, bitch." And then I would choke for a moment, and then she'd pull it out, and then that would be the end of it.
This is a real thing.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's not saying anything about it being a Cuban.
I don't know if it was a Cuban thing, but she told me she used to do this in Cuba when she was a child.
Well, it's one of those things your generations of medicine passed down.
Yeah.
It's real.
Oh, yeah.
Just depending on what it is.
My throat would get better, but that shit sucked.
That must suck, yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
The
Filipinos, we put I've never had this done, thankfully, but my cousins do. Mm-hmm. They put Vaseline on their feet and eyes.
Feet?
Yeah, or some shit that.
I've done here in the chest.
Where it's supposed to go.
Here right by my nose.
Sure.
And then I've done here as well.
Okay, gotcha. No. The Filipinos, they'll put them on their feet, put socks over it. Who's that?
Mikhail.
Okay, so they'll put the feet up. Because if it's someone funny, we should just put on speaker and just be like, "Welcome to the podcast."
Hey, welcome. You're here tuned in on our podcast. How would you like to say your first words?
Whose fucking car is that in front of my fucking house?
What color?
The blue one.
It's mine, you cunt.
All right, bitch. I'm about to winch that bitch out the way.
No, bitch. Don't do it.
What are you doing?
We're doing our podcast right now. We have you on speakerphone.
All right. Well, I was going to say, you going to come with me?
Where are you going?
Street. Across the street.
When?
Right now.
Well, I'm in the middle of my podcast.
And?
I need a few minutes then.
Did Ma hit you up?
No, why?
None. She sent me a message. Some bullshit. I don't know.
Oh, she sent you some new shit? I thought you were going to be funny, but you're not.
Yeah, I was hoping for a big reveal.
No, this is real life. What's wrong with you guys?
Fair enough. Okay, I'll see you in
Go ahead and do whatever the fuck you're doing.
I'll see you. Yeah, I'll just see you in a little bit.
All right.
Well,
That last line was great.
we got one N-word and one good line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was going to talk and say something a little more wild than that, but instead he was like, no, this is
All right.
serious.
It was a little funny.
A little bit.
Not what I was expecting.
No.
Just enough that we do need to bleep two things.
So, just so that you understand what he's talking about, he's had a big fight with my sister.
Yeah.
And they've had like a big falling out. He doesn't talk to them at all.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want anything to do with them.
I remember this.
But he still loves their kid, right? So
Who doesn't love her?
Right. So he bought her a bunch of gifts and stuff, and he wants to give them to her. And he doesn't want to deal with them. So he wants me as emotional support to go with him to deal with them while he gives gifts to Grubby.
I gotcha.
Right. So that's that little detail. Then he's also talking about my mom. My mom recently is going to be having a surgery or something for... So it's either she has cancer or she may get cancer from what she has.
Okay.
So they're talking about cutting it out of her.
Gotcha.
But for them to do that, they have to cut out like half of her fucking guts.
Damn.
Yeah, so apparently like on her whatever that one your intestine.
Colon. Okay.
So on her intestine she has like some sort of growth or something.
Gotcha.
And it's literally like the growth is going all the way to her stomach.
Oh, it sucks. They gotta get it now.
So they think that it's cancerous. She took like a bunch of tests. They find out sooner or later.
Yeah.
And she has to have a surgery where they're gonna cut off like half of her stomach, half of her intestines.
Yeah.
And then
How old is your mom?
she should be good. My mom is
55?
No, she's like in her 60s right now.
Really?
Yeah. So I think she's like 62.
Okay.
I could be wrong because I'm bad with aging when it comes to my mom because I don't really I don't know. I don't think of my mom when I look at her, I don't see her as getting older. You know, I just see her as she always is.
Yeah, I got you.
You know,
Makes sense.
like unlike you, I was raised with my mom, so I see her as she is older. But and you know, she has had cancer in the past where she had breast cancer and all that, and we had like this whole thing, and they literally like just cut open her boobs, got rid of them, and then she no longer had cancer again. Yeah, from what I remember. So then, so if she does have cancer this time around, it's not unexpected because, you know, people who've had cancer in the past have a chance of getting it again. But that's kind of a side note-ish thing. But she's a strong woman. She'll be able to live through it.
Yeah, I think so.
You know?
Dude, your mom scares me. I feel like she could fight anything.
Oh, dude. Like, literally,
she could survive.
There was I went to the house and, like, she, like, told me, she's like, Kyle, I think I'm dying. And I was like, you can't die yet. And she's like, why? I was like, because grandma's still alive. and my grandma has everything in the motherfucking book. Dude, this lady doesn't die. And I'm like
diabetes, cancer, all the shit.
Dude, like everything.
Wow.
And I'm like, and she's literally pushing like 88.
Wow.
Because I think she was 87. Unless I'm bad again and she's like higher than that.
Damn.
But I told my grandma, I was like, I know what you're doing. You're sapping my mother's health, aren't you? This is how you stay alive.
You're sucking it, you vampire.
She doesn't speak English. She doesn't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Love it.
And I'm like, it's all your fault. And she's just like, she has like dementia and shit. She's like, oh, what do you mean, mijo?
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm just
your
like,
grandma's like Coco.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, don't worry, grandma, I'm just playing. You know I love you. And then I give her a kiss. And she's like, I love you too, mijo.
That's funny.
Yeah. Now, she has an accent. My grandma really do.
Your mom has an accent, too.
No, she doesn't.
Guyana.
But yeah. So that's like recent that's been happening like since it started last month.
For sure.
Makes sense.
Well, I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
Because your mom will make it through it.
Oh, yeah. No,
she's a badass.
Sure. Easily. You know, something that I thought was kind of disgusting. I'm side noting because, you know, I don't want to continue talking about my family.
Did you see Carmon's finger?
Who?
Carmon. The overnight guy?
No.
Oh, Kyle, you missed it.
I don't know who he is.
Okay.
The really tall black guy?
Yes.
I saw him come in and he said something really loud.
Yeah.
But he walked right past me.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't...
There's two of them. There's Carmine and Jermel. Carmine wears a beanie all the time.
That's the one I saw.
Okay, listen. I'm going to interrupt you real quick because it's very important.
Go for it.
You may see him, I think, tomorrow. I think he also works tomorrow.
I will keep an eye out for that motherfucker.
Listen, he got bit by, I think, a black widow or a brown recluse spider. Something necrotic.
That happened to my mom.
On his finger. His entire hand is swollen. Like, dude, it's bad. I thought his hand was broken when he came over to me. I was like, dude, you gotta go home. We can't have you work with that. And he goes, nah, fam, it ain't broken. And I'm like, what happened? And then he, like, really puts it in my face and pus starts flowing out of it. You would have loved it, dude. It's beautiful.
That's wild.
So his finger is 3 times the size.
Yeah, it's huge.
The other 2 fingers here
they
are
probably can't
swollen.
even move.
No, he can't move it. It's stuck like this.
Yeah.
And his whole hand is swollen like a golf ball.
Yeah.
Bigger than, I'm sorry, like a baseball. And there's pus coming out like nonstop. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, like, did you go to the hospital? He's like, I can't afford that. And I was like, if it's necrotic, you could lose your finger and all that other stuff. And he's like, well, the swelling's gone down since the weekend. And I'm like, that's good.
It was worse?
It was worse, he said, yeah. And he showed me pictures. It was worse. I'm like, I don't know what bit you, dude, but it clearly is corroding your skin. Like, it's corrosion.
Yeah.
It's bad. There's pus coming. Like, he didn't touch it. There's pus pouring out of it.
So, I want you to know. So, this is why I think my mom is, like...
invincible.
Yeah. Next level fucking creature. Right? So, not a black widow, but probably a brown recluse or something.
Yeah,
something bit her that was extremely poisonous.
For
right?
sure.
Bit her on the top of her hand. And, her hand completely started swelling, right? Huge as fuck. And she was like, she did the same thing he did, right? She was like, I'm not going to go to the doctors, whatever. It's just a spider bite. And she thought it was like this tiny little thing. She popped it, right?
Yeah.
And then the next day, huge as fuck, right? And she looks at it and she's like, wow, this is bad.
Wow, this is bad.
Right? And it's kind of hard to see now, but she went to the doctors and they literally removed all of her skin from her hand.
Holy shit.
They were
She's
like...
probably dead under there.
They literally said that all of that could have, like, poisoned her.
Yeah, it could kill you.
Even worse.
Yeah.
They need to get it off.
Wow.
So they, like, cut it all off and, like... I don't know if they took skin from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But they, like, closed it and she has, like, a smaller scar. But it's, like... It's still big, you know?
Wow.
And she just has it on her hand and she's like... She didn't care. Like, she was just like, it's every day of the week, fuck it. I knew for a fact she couldn't move these 3 fingers.
Yeah.
She couldn't move this and this. You need these.
Yeah, you need those.
So, I've come to this thought. You may tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I don't believe you need a ring finger. I feel like a pinky, a thumb, and your pointer finger are the most important ones. Middle finger, you just use for side things, but it still benefits because it's your longest finger. Because you use it to do a lot of different things. But I don't think you need a ring finger.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
If one day you just, had to cut off your finger, and someone said, hey, if you had to lose a finger, which finger would it be? I'd say my ring finger.
There's a story about that, about like a prisoner in Russia or something who had to survive by eating his fingers.
That's cool.
Like, he was forced to do so because he had no food.
Right.
But, like, his guards were
did he just eat piece by piece, or did he actually...
I think he, like, once a week went... because
that's
mentally, your brain stops you from doing it.
Right. No, you have to easily bite through a finger.
you can bite through it at any time.
Any of these joints, they just crumble.
Like, mentally, you have the power, the muscle power, to bite, like, through this table.
Well, yeah, you also have the power to bite through your own teeth.
That's crazy.
But your body tells you
I'm trying to lift weight like that, baby. Give me some smelling salts. I'm trying to bench press.
I thought about buying smelling salts just to
have them, yeah.
Because I feel like
I know exactly what you're saying.
They would help me so much.
With what?
Because I feel like someday
with waking Courtney up.
Well, no, it's just sometimes like when I'm at work, I'll start to like get that falling asleep and I feel drowsy. But if I had that would just
punch in the face.
Yeah, quick punch in the face. All right, I'm good. Because literally, I was in the office with Sharuk.
Yeah.
And I was like doing my assignment and like I was just getting it done, and I'm like reading the paper Tracy gave me, the audit, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm literally like
nodding off, yeah.
And he's just looking at me. I know he saw me, right? Yeah. And I'm just like...
He actually... He told me about it.
Yeah.
I was like, don't worry about it.
And I was just like falling asleep. And I was just like... I immediately like... I just get up. I'm like, nope. Yeah. I gotta go do something. Like I didn't fall asleep in front of him or anything.
Right.
I started dozing off. I don't know what he told you.
No, he said you were just like... nodding off or whatever. And so... I was like... So were you.
Yeah. So I jumped up, got up in the seat, and I was just like, I'm gonna go get some chairs or something. And I like left.
I gotcha.
Came back later, ate my food, continued working. And then he came to my face and was like, yeah, man, I thought you were about to smash your head on the table. I was this close.
I've seen you nod off before. You do get real heavy. Like you start like...
I give up. Yeah. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, no. So like, I feel like if I had those, that would be like that pick me up. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I don't know but I don't know how reusable they are.
I don't either. I know that some of them you open and you crack it.
Capsules, and then some of them they come in jars.
And you just open it and sniff.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know how pungent they are for.
Yeah. I just know that they're super fucking strong. And I've never had them, but I know a lot of like athletes. Fighters and shit use it. Yeah.
I've smelled them one time, but I don't remember if it had a specific aroma or it just hit me. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I wasn't even in like... So I used to play football. I think it was after that. I think I was just at like the gym or something. I don't remember. But I'll get you some.
Cool.
I'll get you some smelling salts.
We'll try it on here.
Hey.
Just to give it a sniff.
Now that's an idea.
Right?
We could play a game where we do it every 2 minutes. Or something. That's too much. Every 20 minutes. Woo! Yeah, sniff it out. That branch really tore into me.
Yeah, so it got me really good here, and then right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got you in like one specific spot. And
at
least I look like I went through a battle with a cat.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you emerged victorious.
Yeah.
I keep getting spam calls. I keep thinking someone's calling, and I'm gonna put them on speakerphone and be like, "Hey, you're on the podcast. What's going on?" Just like no explanation.
Yeah.
But no. I've been getting spam calls like crazy lately. What were you talking about before we went off about your family life with when Mikhail called?
No idea.
We were talking about something. The phone rang and I was like, hey, if it's funny, put it on. That's free content.
Didn't we just talk about this? Like I got shit shoved down my throat? Or was that after?
Yeah, but I think it was after.
You were just looking up the information. You're like, oh, that's a legit remedy.
Yeah, we were past that though.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I started talking about the Vaseline.
We'd have to play it back.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
The Vaseline on the feet for the Filipinos.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You were talking about rubbing it on your chest like a normal person would.
Yeah. I always hated it.
Yeah, it sucks.
I never liked it on my chest.
It sucks. Yeah, the Filipinos do weird shit like that. Yeah. And then my dad's family, what they used to do is, I think it's honey and onions. Where like
That's legit.
Yeah, you've heard of it, right? You ferment it in a jar for like 3 weeks, and whenever you're sick, you take a spoonful and you just go for it, or some shit like that.
A lot of people say onions and honey. They make a lot of jams with them and shit.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works. I'm a big believer in
medicinals,
in antioxidants, not medicinals. No.
Okay.
What, like weed and shit?
No, like is that medicinal?
That's technically medicine.
It's always weed. I was thinking more like instead of like getting a shot or an injection, you just take some herbs.
You're right. Medicinal is the right word. Okay. I'm not a big on that one. Because
I remember a long time ago, we used to live next to like this big Arabic family.
Yeah.
Weird as fuck people.
Love it.
Like they were straight out of their country.
Alhamdulillah.
Barely spoke any English.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the fuck my stepdad would always make me talk to them, but I would be stuck talking to them because he didn't want to. And they would always ask me for weird shit, and then they would ask me if I could like help them. So what they would want me to do is, because I used to have a pit bull.
Okay.
My sister's house, right?
Yeah.
That used to just be a giant lawn with like nothing was there, right?
Okay.
a lot of weeds used to grow there because we wouldn't keep up with it, right? We would just let weeds.
Why would you? Yeah.
We would just let the weeds grow. I'd come in there with a lawnmower once a week, cut it up. Who cares? Move on. Sometimes I'd skip a week and they would go really fast, really bad. But a lot of those weeds apparently were medicinal herbs. And they would come outside and they would see me destroy them every week, and they would freak out and yell at me. Yeah, they would yell at me, and I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And like their kid one time came out and spoke to me. Never talked to me before. He asked, he's like, hey, you're gonna lawn mow this today, right? I was like, yeah, why? He's like, can we go out to the field and harvest everything? And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Harvest everything? Like, it was just like I planted a garden.
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't plant a garden. This shit grew on its own. I don't know.
Like, it was like dandelions and shit.
Yeah. Well, not dandelions. I'm trying to think of the fucking plant. It's one of those plants that grow.
Oh yeah, jerk it
and
off.
they have like a lot of spikes on them, and they have like a little ball at the end of it, and then like they have long leaves. And then there's another one where it has like thistles that come out, but then there's like long leaves at the bottom.
I think I know what you're talking about.
There's a couple different ones. Apparently, it was a treasure trove back in the day.
Okay.
Of just random shit that was like, if you prepared it correctly, really healthy.
I think that's really cool. It's very medieval.
Right.
I like that shit.
And they like pleaded with me to allow their family to go over and harvest it all instead of me killing it all.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, sure, fuck it. I went back there, grabbed my dog, put him on a leash, took him out of the backyard because they couldn't go back there because of my dog.
Gotcha. The one that used to live outside?
He used to live over there because we protected the area with the dog.
Gotcha.
And because we always had a fence, you know? And he was a great guard dog during the time. His name was PW, which standed for Powerful Warrior.
Okay.
And that motherfucker was stacked.
Nice.
Like, he had muscles on muscles, and he made a lot of babies.
Nice.
Yeah. So, had him for years. He died when he was like 15 or 16.
Wow, nice.
Something like that.
That's awesome.
But I grabbed him. I was just like, let's go for a walk, man. I went for a walk. Dude, I don't know what motherfucking clown car they came out of.
Yeah.
But they called somebody.
Oh, and there was like...
Dude, there was an army of fucking like robes that came out of that car.
Yeah. And
I was just like, who are all these people? And like I asked the young guy, and he's like, these are my aunts and uncles. They heard that there was a bountiful field.
Wow.
And they came, they harvested everything.
Yeah.
And like they plucked it properly. And like, so the biggest issue I think that happened, because no weeds really grow there anymore, right? So I think what happened was they went there, they plucked them dry. Because they did it like every week they would come.
Gotcha.
Right? Until it just stopped growing.
Nice.
And then it was just grass for the most part.
Nice.
So they literally killed their own farm because they didn't like...
Well, yeah, but it's beneficial for everybody at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about it, like, if the off chance that I wanted these herbs, right?
Sure.
That was my chance of getting them, and now that I don't.
But you're in America. You got modern medicine.
Yeah, I got money to go to the hospital.
Right.
But, not really. But... but
no, but you have access to over-the-counter drugs.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like, if I need some fucking NyQuil, I can go get some NyQuil.
Right, exactly.
But that's what they were doing, you know, like they just harvested all of it, they dried it. Like I asked to see what they were doing. They let me in their house.
That's cool.
And like I got to see them. They had like a drying rack with all of them, and they were like smashing them, grinding them, doing whatever they had to do with it.
That's cool.
And I was just like, all right. My mom did a similar thing with nothing medicinal, but more like she'll take like cilantro and all that, she'd dry it out, grind it, and make it more like a powder so she could sprinkle it on stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, she'd do like seasonings and stuff.
I gotcha. That's very cool.
That's still cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, like that fucking clown car of Arabic people just...
Hey man, they got it.
It was nuts. Like,
That's awesome.
I didn't think there'd be that many people, and like, it was pretty much like your car.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And there was like 8 people that came out.
They know how to pack it up.
Yeah.
Pakistan.
They did look kind of skinny, you know.
Stack them on top of each other.
Yeah, for real.
I like it, man. So yeah, I'm not much of a medicinal person. However, it would be really cool, and I have lots of books like that on like medieval methods. That would be cool to learn what kind of shit you could use in like a survival situation or something like that. Or if you were broke.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be.
That would be cool. I'm more of a, going back to it, I'm more of an antioxidant believer. I'm really big on roots and things like that. Almost medicinal, but more of like the benefits
also
of
took roots and used those.
Roots and fruits and shit like that.
I will say this. There's a plant in my backyard that is considered a weed. It's extremely big right now because I just never cut it.
For sure.
Because I don't have a lawnmower anymore, so how I cut my grass is with a weed whacker. And it's not that big of a lawn, you know, backyard.
Why don't you have a weed whacker? A lawnmower?
So, I bought a lawnmower one time.
Yeah.
And my sister used it for her backyard. And somehow they broke it. And then they bought a new one, right? And then they kept it over there, and I used it. And then the next time they used it, it broke.
What the fuck?
So, like, they've broken, like, 7 fucking lawnmowers.
How do you break a lawnmower?
So I just don't have a lawnmower anymore. So then I bought a weed whacker.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this can stay in my house. Easy peasy. Like, a lawnmower could stay in my house, too, but it takes effort to bring it in and out, blah, blah, blah. So I just had that, and I just go...
Honestly, if your lawn's not that big, a weed whacker will do the job.
Oh, yeah. It's not that big. It's not that big of a deal. But that plant for the weed whacker... its base is super thick. So what I would normally do, because that plant grows like every year.
Yeah.
I'll just take a machete.
Yeah. And
then I throw the thing away. Right? But if you pulled it out all the way and took its roots, you can soak their roots and turn it into a jam. And it's supposed to help with fevers and headaches.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I found that out. I'm never going to do it.
Hey, you never know.
But it's there.
World shuts down. That's you, buddy.
Yeah. Now I know that I have at least one of those.
Yep.
From what I can tell, no other ones grow back there. It's just that one. And then there was one in my front porch that my cousin harvested. Like, you know, when my porch was getting rebuilt, he came and like he was like, "Hey, what are you going to do with this plant here?" Because it was in my flower garden. I don't know how it got in there, but it randomly showed up. And it shows up every year, and like leaves would spawn, and I'm like, I don't know, it just shows up. I thought it was just a weird flower that I must have just grew there, you know? And he told me, he's like, no, this is like a very good medicinal herb that you can like have.
Wow.
And I'm just like, where the fuck do these keep coming from? And he's just like, yeah, it's gonna keep growing. Once it grows like a little bit bigger, call me and I'll come and harvest it. And ever since he's harvested, it has not shown back up. I've never harvested before.
Yeah.
Harvested. Yeah. So I guess I was just letting it regrow every year and just dying, regrowing, dying. But whatever he did killed it completely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's how you know, professional.
Yeah. So he did what those Arabic people did, and they fucking slaughtered the lands.
I like it.
But yeah, that's a side note.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
I'm totally into that kind of stuff. I'm just not, yeah.
Okay. Any other things you wanted to specifically talk about? Because this is your episode.
Is it my episode?
Well, it was meant to be me less talky, you more talky.
No, it was just, whatever. We're just reading the feedback.
Remember when you told me to shut the fuck up?
Yeah, I loved it. It was a little aggressive. I was like, oh, it was a little loud.
I know there was...
I was thinking about buying a button that goes like, oops.
I have a no button.
No. One of those red ones?
Exactly how you said it. No.
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 Nah.
No.
That's no fun.
No. 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 Like, it just has...
Why do you keep doing that? Is it like, does it switch tones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You just kept going. I was freaking me out.
Yeah, it kept switching tones.
I was like, what in the autism is going on?
Fuck you. It's somewhere around here.
I got you.
It might be upstairs, but I think it's in that like dresser right there.
What were you saying 2 seconds ago?
There was a story. There was a story that I specifically wanted to talk about, but I cannot remember it.
Fuck.
At all. And like at first it popped into my head like when we first started.
Okay.
And then you said like to talk about
Bobby.
Bob.
Yeah.
And I was just like, cool, for sure. And then in my head, I was like, I'll just talk about this later. And then we just kept ramping, and I'm like, okay, I don't remember.
Oh my God, this is from a few hours ago? You had a story?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
But I also wanted you to talk first.
Okay. Well, I'll throw something in and see if you remember.
Okay.
I have, and I've told you a little bit of the story, and I'll ramp it up a little when I tell it. I have a lack of interest or concern for natural disasters.
Okay.
So I told you the story about how a few weeks ago we had a concern of tornadoes, to which one actually did touch down a mile away from my apartment.
Look at me.
I did not give a fuck about warnings. I don't really care. Here's the thing. I'm not in a position where I can do anything. You know what I mean? If a hurricane, tornado, whatever the fuck comes over this way, right? There's nothing to do except for prepare as best you can, I guess, quote unquote, and do your best to survive if something happens, right? I'm always prepped for danger. I have a backpack at my apartment filled with medical supplies, bullets, and cash.
Gotcha.
It's a quick grab. You
How
know?
much cash?
It's about 200 cash.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just
That's good
whatever.
money.
Yeah. You know what else is in there? Which is dire.
What?
I saw this on TikTok. This is a side note. I saw this on TikTok of people that put in their prep kits.
Yeah.
And stuff for trading. I have like these little ramekins, like solid metal ones that are filled with ground coffee and stuff. Because when shit hits the fan, people want like, you know, stuff that they don't have access to. I've got like Advil and like some other shit in like these like airtight containers. I've got coffee. Because it's going to be like a big commodity.
That's cool.
I'll trade for coffee. I would trade 2 or 3 bullets for coffee. I'm not going to lie to you. I know you wouldn't, but I'm addicted to coffee. It's the only vice I have right now.
You might eat your supply.
That's true. I might. If shit hits the fan, I have one last cup of coffee. So, anyways, long story short, I have no gives or fucks for natural disasters until they happen. I'm always ready for danger. Like, you know, what am I going to do until then? Am I going to stress out? Have anxiety? That's not me. I'm chill. I'm going to live and not die from a heart attack at the age of 50 because I'm not stressed, right? I'm going to die at 50. So, from unrelated causes. There was a hurricane warning. My girlfriend has a lot of anxiety. Freaked. She was like, all night, she's like, I can't go to sleep. I had to work in the morning, by the way. I can't go to sleep. I'm stressed out. Like, the sirens are going off, whatever, right? It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, babe, it's going to be fine. We're okay. And she's like, no, we have big windows. The cats. We're on the second floor of an apartment. I said, hey, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. And I kept trying to fall asleep. This is like the story you were just telling. I'm trying to fall asleep. I have to work. You know? I keep rolling over and answering her, just being like, hey, it's all good. It's fine. And then like trying to go back to sleep, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to pass out. Every 10 minutes, she's waking me up and asking me something. And she's like, please, I need you to react.
Courtney has done stuff like that to me, and I've lost my shit.
No, for real. Like it got to the point where I lost my shit.
Because even I've like been like, okay, it's literally been 3 times. You need to calm the fuck down.
You gotta stop. Yeah.
Because I'm at that point.
Yeah. So she's like, it's getting windier outside. It's raining. It's getting worse. Blah, blah, blah. I'm really worried and scared. And I'm like, don't be scared. I'm right here if something happens, but nothing's going to happen. Gotcha. She's like, well, what do we do? There's no shelter to go to. And I'm like, we can go to the bathroom. And she's like, there's a window. And I'm like, there's windows everywhere. The best thing to do is to go where there's a solid, like, you know, there's a bathtub there. Or we can go, you know, by the washing machines in our apartment, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, that's away from all the windows and that's in the middle of the apartment. That's the best thing to do. She's like, well, what about the cats? And I'm like, I'll be honest with you, they'll be fine unless the whole apartment goes down. They will find a place to be safe. They'll be fine. I told her. And so I fall asleep again. She wakes me up again another 10 minutes. She's like, I'm freaking out, blah, blah, you got to do something. And I'm like, I got up and I was like, what do you want me to do? I'm going to tell you right now. If we die, we die. And she was like, like she started freaking out even more. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have the capacity to freak out about things. I've been shot at before. I don't have the capacity to freak out about things. You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth your time to get stressed out. Stay cool. Stay calm. 99% of the time, you're going to be fine, right?
I've been shot nearby.
For me? No, I'm just kidding.
No. So you're saying you've been shot at. I've been shot nearby.
Close enough.
So, like,
yep.
They weren't shooting at me specifically.
Did you stress out? No, just prepare.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I just left. I would leave. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, I got up. I put jeans on, my jacket. I threw my backpack on top of the washing machine, the one I was talking about. I put my shoes on. I brought out the comforter and the pillows. I put them right next to the washing machine on the floor. Like, probably low-key, like, the safest part of our apartment is right in the middle. Because we're on the second floor, so there's no, like, basement or something. It's right in the middle. There's no windows there. It's right by the bathroom. And it's like, whatever. And I laid down, and I fell asleep like this. And I fell asleep on the floor. And she's like,
immediately not.
What are you doing? And I'm like, this is the safest spot to be right now. If something happens, we're ready.
That was your old apartment, right?
No, it's this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see inside this one, or did you ever just drop me off?
Your new apartment, I've never seen.
Okay.
I've never dropping you off at your new one.
You dropped me off at my new one?
No, I have not.
Are you sure?
Yes.
When I didn't have a car that one time, when it was the pothole
Wasn't me?
season?
Must have been someone else.
I know Shark drove me home one time, but I thought you drove me home a second day.
Nope.
So I do plan, I was thinking about this on the way here, because I had an hour and a fucking half to think in traffic on the way here. I will be cleaning my apartment soon, and I should have everybody over.
Cool.
Just like a little get together. Cool. I'm just so far, I feel bad, because everybody's over here next to you.
Right.
I'm literally like 45 to an hour away from everybody.
That's not a big deal for any of
our
us.
crew.
I love fucking hanging out, period. So, like, if someone says, hey, let's meet up here, everyone will meet up.
Yeah. Obviously, John's not allowed. So,
okay.
If anyone's gonna let the cats out, it's gonna be him. So,
fun story. John did lose his cat the other day. He left his window open. So he lives like in the basement area.
I thought he was in the attic.
No, he lives in the basement. He used to live in my attic.
Oh, okay.
So the house there is a three floor thing. So there's the upstairs,
the basement,
the middle, and then he's renting the basement.
Got you.
He opened up the window, which is ground level.
Ground level, yeah.
Right? So the cat looked out the window, and it was in the bathroom, jumped right out, and just left. Came back 2 days later.
I was going to say, it'd probably be back.
Yeah. He left the window open again.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know if she'll come back, but just in case.
She'll come back.
And then he left it open, and she was gone for 2 days. Came back. Hopefully she's not pregnant.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because she was not spayed or neutered.
That's one of the only things that female cats do when they leave.
I know.
You know what I mean? Male cats explore. Female cats go to get laid.
Yeah.
That's like literally the only thing they do.
The only thing is, though, the main male cats that are on this block are my mom's cats.
Uh-huh.
They're neutered.
Yeah.
So I don't know if any other cats showed up.
Gotcha.
But there was one new cat that I saw the other day. So I don't know if that one was here during that time.
Okay.
But I saw a new fucker.
John's going to find out.
Yeah.
At some point.
John will find out in a month or two. Well,
so, Maggie was freaking out.
I think it's like 3 or 4 months, right?
I don't know.
For cats.
I'm not sure. I've only been there for the after effect.
Oh, okay. I've
only been there for the birth. So, I go and fall asleep, and Maggie wakes me up again, and she's like, what do we do? What are we going to do? Should we drive somewhere? Should we leave? I'm like, no. You cannot leave the apartment right now. It's storming. It's like windy really bad, right?
Oh, she just wanted to dip?
She's trying to leave. And I'm like, first of all, you're not listening to me when I'm telling you that nothing's going to happen. And if it does happen, I'll do my best to get us out of here. But here's the thing. If nothing happens, I need to sleep for work tomorrow. I kept telling her. And also, like I was saying, what the fuck?
What?
I thought she just threw up on you.
No, she's just whistling.
You look like you want to say something that's distracting me. So what are you going to say?
I wanted to say that I remembered what I was trying to say, but I don't remember.
Earlier?
Yeah, I don't remember anymore.
Okay, great. So...
Because it hit me like a few sentences back.
Okay.
And then you said something, and I was like, oh, let me just say something with it. And then I completely just went...
Damn it, Kyle.
What was it again?
All right, so... I kept trying to convince her, like, you gotta stop and just let me sleep. Because if nothing happens, I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm so tired. I have to get up at 3.
Yeah.
So, she starts getting mad at me, and she's like, well, if we can't go anywhere, we're stuck here, and you just have your shoes on. Like, why do you have your shoes on? Like, what's that supposed to do? And I'm like, hold on. You're still in your pajamas. I'm not the crazy one. You woke me up to do something. I'm ready to leave the apartment at any second.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sleep right here. And she was like, okay, well, should we drive to my parents or something? I'm like, what do you not understand? We cannot leave right now. It's more dangerous if we leave than if we stay and get rest.
So, since we're on this note, and since it's in my head at the moment, my aunt is fucking nuts.
Okay.
Right?
I like it.
There's just something with my family.
I love your whole family.
The women in our family have like some sort of mental disability that forces them to go like crazy about one specific thing.
Gotcha. Like they really focus on one thing.
Right.
Autism.
So, probably.
Yeah.
So my aunt, she's a survivalist.
Okay. I like that.
So, when you said, I have a backpack ready to go, I want you to know, at one point in time, there was a huge fight at my family's house, and Andres kicked me and my sister out, right? Okay. We were still in school, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, gotcha.
He just threw us out.
Damn.
Right? He was like, I don't want you fuckers in my house anymore. Leave. Mm-hmm. He also threw my mom out, but my mom was like, no, bitch, we're not leaving. We're going to talk this out, blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
Whole dilemma. I'll explain that later on a different time. Right now we're in this. During that time,
survivalist.
I moved into my aunt's house.
Okay.
As soon as I moved in, like...
She go over the safety procedures?
Yeah. She was like, okay, since you're going to start living in my house... You need to know a few rules. And I'm like, okay, just so you know, she lives in the ghetto mansion.
Okay.
I'm not going to exactly tell you guys where that is, but I will say on Detroit, Michigan's, like, top places to go see and visit.
Yeah.
Her house is, like, in, like, the top 10.
Yeah.
Because her house is, like, an original building that was built a long time ago, and she bought it as a restaurant, right? And she ended up closing the restaurant down, and she just turned it into a house.
Nice.
So it's a really big fucking place. But she has like 2 fire escapes from this upstairs for no reason. Yeah, you only needed 1, but she has 2.
Nah.
And then she has...
What if you're feeling the left side more than that?
She has, what is that shit called? So if all the
bunker.
Generator. Yeah. She has a generator that's powered by the sun shit. She has solar. She has the solar panels.
Cool.
So she has a row of solar panels on top of her roof.
Cool.
She has a giant thing that's just filled with water. Right?
Yeah.
She collects rainwater and all that.
That's awesome.
And she's like, I don't drink that water. I use that water to water my plants. She has a garden on the side of her house full, right?
Of vegetables and stuff?
Full of vegetables and whatever. Like a full-size garden. That's not awesome. Some small shit.
Right.
Because she has such a big area. And then... she was like, I need my own way of survival. So she bought a bunch of fucking chickens and quails.
Wow.
Like an army of them.
That's awesome.
Like, no reason.
No, it's great.
But I had my own chicken and...
unlimited eggs, bro.
Yeah. I had my own pet chicken. That bitch lived for a long time. But she had unlimited chicken, unlimited eggs, fucking whatever she needed, she was able to get, right? And then she fucking had, she had inside her house the basement area, which is like, there's a basement, and then there was a basement under the basement.
Gotcha.
So it was pretty much a bunker, right?
Awesome.
She had a room set up in there in case anything ever happened. And then she also had, she had her survival kit bag. And when I moved in, she said I needed a survival kit bag.
Make it.
Because you never know when the apocalypse starts. And she was like, Y2K is coming and all that crazy shit, right? Like, she was like a believer of everything, right? So, like, she was ready for it all. She had a fucking shotgun at the door ready with, like, fresh box of ammo and, like, and then... she didn't really have, like, other guns. She was just... She said all you need is a shotgun because anything that gets in your way disappears.
That's God's honest truth.
Yeah.
That's the American way.
So, like, she would just do all that shit and just have everything ready. And I'm like, when are you ever going to need this? When are we ever going to have, like, some sort of pandemic where, like, you can't fucking, like, survive on the grid or anything? And she was just like, you never know. Something could happen. The day COVID hit, we got phone calls saying, I fucking told you so fast.
Oh, that's so funny.
She had an arsenal of toilet paper. She had an arsenal of water. She had an arsenal of whatever you think you needed.
Yeah.
She has it just in her fucking house.
That's awesome.
And she was just like, I prepped my whole life for this. And it was, a good 2 years of really good struggle, and then 1 year where everything was slowly getting better. And because, supplies back then, everybody was just buying them out.
Yeah, it's true.
For the first 2 years, it was really bad. And then after that, it just slowly kind of everyone's like, okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I felt like I got very lucky in terms of supplies in COVID.
Oh, I did too.
I felt like I never struggled for anything. And I ordered groceries.
My wife worked at a grocery store during that time.
Really?
She was the manager for a grocery store. And literally,
nice.
If we needed toilet paper, come home with it.
Nice.
Ain't no one buying it when she's the one putting it out.
I gotcha. Nice.
So, we always had what we needed. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's just that thought, I never struggled during that time. I know there's a lot of people out there who did, and a bunch of crazy shit did happen, because I know a few people who struggled.
I knew one person.
Because there was a couple times where we made little care packages and we were like, here, just go.
Well, that's nice.
Let's bring that to them so they can have some shit. Yes.
What?
I don't know. You just looked at your arm.
It just started hurting for some reason.
Yeah. But that kind of shit happened. But my aunt, as soon as the pandemic happened,
she was on it.
Bitch was like,
good for her, man.
Fuck all of you. None of you are allowed in my house now that this shit is happening.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, that's fair.
That is fair.
She had World War II fucking crackers in her fucking basement.
Sealed up.
You had to fucking crank that bitch open.
Yeah.
And then you'd open it. They're still sealed inside it. You'd open them bitches just to eat them. And they were disgusting as fuck.
But they were real. Yeah. They lasted.
They last.
Yeah.
And she told me, she's like, I don't even know if they're good anymore. They're just sitting there for years.
Yeah.
And then I remember one time her basement flooded. Unexpectedly it flooded, right? And the flood got to her room.
Wow.
And she had to go in there and throw out a bunch of her shit. And she was like, that's why one of the cans got flooded. And I was like, well, now that you're gonna throw this away, can I just open it? And she was like, yeah, sure, because the side got all rusted and shit. She thought it was still good, but
gotcha.
it got fucked up.
Yeah.
So that's why she let us open it and stuff. But even after that, after that whole prep time, she's like, I gotta come up with something new, she fucking went nuts about it.
Hey.
But, it was just a learning process. Now, I personally believe that's important to do as well, to at least have a grab bag. I used to have one set up at my mom's house, and it used to be compiled of all of my video games that I needed on the fly, a bunch of handhelds, and if I needed, it had an extra set of Xbox wires. So all I'd have to do
So it's not a grab bag, it's just your fucking gaming bag.
Shut the fuck. That was my grab bag. So I could just grab my Xbox by hand and throw it in my bag as I go.
Those are your valuables as a kid.
Right? So I had that, and then it had a knife in it, and then a couple snacks that I could have.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So priorities. I need something to be able to entertain myself. I have a weapon.
Like that's what would kill you. Boredom would kill you the most.
Yeah. I had a weapon.
You would purposely go fight zombies.
I had food.
Yeah.
I didn't have any liquids in it, but I was like, if it came down to it, I'm sure I could find a water hose somewhere. But yeah.
It's not the water you gotta worry about, it's the disease in the water.
Oh yeah, you just gotta filter water and boil it. And once you boil it, filter it again.
And there you go.
Yeah. I knew what I had to do.
Yeah. That's how you made it here from Cuba. So, back to Maggie being sad.
Okay.
In my apartment.
Yeah.
Basically, fast forward to the morning, and she didn't sleep all night. I slept on the floor.
Yeah.
Drove to work, and at work she was telling me, I was right, a tornado did touch down, blah, blah, blah. So a mile away from our apartment, a tornado did touch down and destroyed a golf course gazebo.
Okay.
A thing. What's that called? It is called a gazebo, but a whole, where the bathrooms are and that kind of thing, benches. It did destroy that whole area. So, warranted, she was correct in terms of the danger, but I was just telling her, okay, I'll be honest with you, it didn't touch down on us.
Yeah. Nothing happened to you.
Nothing happened to you. Nothing happened to the cats, our cars, whatever. there's no reason to stress yourself out like that.
Yeah.
Learning experience, dude. Like, we gotta just
accept it.
Accept it. If something happens, like a sinkhole, like a fucking fire tornado, I will try to survive. But I'm not gonna stress myself out at the end. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. I've had times where I was in a hurricane in Cuba, like bad hurricane, where you go out there, the wind is going like 90.
Yeah.
And you could get pushed. Yeah. Right? Me and my dumbass cousin go out there and we're like,
just for fun?
Let's just fucking run in a circle outside.
I love it.
As hard as we can. Dude, we went, this is me when I was like maybe 10, fucking anywhere between 10 and 12. Right? I'm essentially a twig with my cousin who's right next to me. We run outside. All you see is gust of wind.
Oh,
we fly.
Jesus Christ.
We fly, smack the ground. We land near like the pig pit. And we're like holding on to like the fence for the pig pit. And like we're just getting hailed on by rain. And we're like, why did we think this was a good idea?
It was fun though,
and
right?
then my mom is just over there on a rocking chair watching
chilling.
us.
Dude, I'm telling you, your mom is so
with
funny.
my family members laughing.
Yeah.
Just, fucking retards.
If they die, they die.
And they were like, no, come back. And, you know, we're like holding on. The wind stopped for like a second. We got up. That's
funny.
Got back in. But dude,
That's a good time.
We got lifted. Dude, it was awesome.
That's
like,
a good time.
Whenever I think about those times where I got fucked up by something stupid I did.
Yeah.
I remember it fondly, not badly.
No, fondly.
Like, I've had times where, like, I literally had, like, a metal pole ripped through my foot. I had my hand ripped open. And none of those, to me, were ever bad. Even though the experience I had was bad.
Yeah.
But the circumstances that I got to there were great. You know? So, like, I just always think about that.
I get you.
It's just, like, side note. But when you're saying, like, if you fuckers had ran out there and there really was a tornado, like
death,
you lifted, you gone.
We're gone.
Because there are stories that people get lifted by tornadoes and they survive. Right?
That's true.
But there are many.
Luck out.
There are many more who are
they can't find
dead.
the body. Yeah, they're gone. Right.
They're gone. So the fact that she wanted to leave during a tornado, like, no, bitch.
Yeah, she wanted to drive somewhere, and I'm like, you might think that's a good idea, but if shit hits the fan, your car can't drive. That's what people don't realize. The winds are so strong, your car does not have traction with the road. It's like you have to stop and pray. I saw this video the other day that happened to people who were in, I assume, what's the city? I'm sorry, what's the state in the USA that has like all the tornadoes? Not Tennessee, it's like Nebraska or something, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's like right along the middle.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So let's say Nebraska, just to say it. Where they were in a car and a fucking...
I don't know my states, by the way.
Me neither. A T4 fucking class tornado hit, and there's a video of these three guys, they're laughing, joking, just probably how you and I would do.
Yep.
And then they start praying. They're like, oh fuck, oh my god, wait, no, because the fucking top of the truck is crushing down because of the weight of the winds. All the windows blew out. And dirt and wood and like rain and shit is blowing into their faces, and they have to lean the seats back. This is all on video. They have to lean the seats back because the hood of the car, the roof of the car is crushing down because of all the weight.
Jesus.
The truck doesn't leave the ground, I don't think, but like it's like the weight of all of the pressure of the air is crushing the car.
That's
a truck.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Shut up. That's a side note.
So Just
that's crazy. I do say that. I say that a lot.
Just so that we're on the same factor. I only know about Texas and Florida, and I also know about Shanghai. But that's only because I work at a place
Shanghai, China?
You know, Seoul and all that.
Korea?
Yeah, Korea too.
I know what you're saying right now.
Right.
But that's not the U.S.
I know.
Why do they have to do with anything that we just...
I don't know my states. That's all I know is about Texas, Florida, and I know about Detroit, Michigan, and everything around it.
You know Ohio.
Oh yeah, Ohio as well. I've been over there. Yeah. But that's
about it.
That's just Michigan.
I've been to like 48 states. I've
been all over.
I just don't remember.
Like,
Yeah.
like I've said that stupid joke where I was like, I know about North Dakota. And then I was like, what about South? There's a South Dakota?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Did you say that or was that
I did.
That
I
was
said
so
that.
funny.
That was me.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So like,
It's called North Dakota versus South.
it's like, I only
So
knew Dakota
funny.
was a place because I had a friend named Dakota.
Right.
Like,
You did say that. I remember that.
yeah.
I didn't take my belt off, by the way. That was almost
I saw.
erotic for a second.
I don't know why you did, but I watched it.
The buckle was stabbing me, and I didn't realize until I kind of moved for a second, and I felt just shooting pain in my stomach, and I was like, oh shit.
Gotcha.
It was like pain. I was like, ouch.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not going to react and be a bitch on the podcast.
Okay, so this was in my mind.
All right.
Because this is what I wanted to say at the beginning.
Okay. Don't lose it.
Which was, thank you, by the way, for just like hopping in and joining me, even though we did fuck our arms up for the old lady across the street from
Why
my
wouldn't
house.
I?
Right. So.
Without hesitation, baby.
Yeah.
Anything you ask of me.
So like.
I'll kill a man.
I watched, like, I got home, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got so much shit to do. And I'm literally watching the little old lady come off of her porch, and her husband just died a week ago.
Oh, fuck.
That's the thing I had to go
funeral,
to.
Yeah.
The funeral and all that. And I'm like, I've been feeling really bad for her the last couple weeks. It's been 2 weeks that he's died. But nonetheless. So I'm watching her, and she's like, just there, and she's like, I don't have any, like, she literally looked at me and was like, hey, Kyle. And then I was like, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, the tree fell down because, the weather was kind of bad a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Well, that tree has been breaking slowly, right? Like, the state needs to come cut it down and get rid of it at this point. But a huge trunk fell down, and she was just out there, like, picking up all the little pieces. And I told her, I was like, why are you picking up all those pieces? You don't have to do that. And she's like, I called the state, and they said someone was going to come and pick it up and stuff, but she has this huge hole in her ground now, and she wants to fix her lawn because, her husband used to take care of it and all that. And, like, she was really sad about it, and she's just, like, picking it up. And in my head, I'm like, man, I just want to go over there and pick it up and move it. And I looked across the street, or not across the street, but my next door neighbors.
With the 5 people there, yeah.
There was 5 full-grown men who could have easily helped move it. And I'm like, I could ask one of them, but they're dumbass Cubans, and I don't like Cubans. So then I didn't ask them.
You don't like your own people?
No, I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the neighbors that were over there was my brother-in-law and my cousin.
Your brother-in-law was over there?
Yeah.
I didn't see him.
Gladier was in the middle of them.
What?
Yeah.
He probably should have said hi to me.
My sister was there too.
What?
You didn't notice?
No, they weren't. They must have not been on the porch.
Gladier was on the porch. My sister was inside the house.
I hard stared at that group. I didn't see anybody that I knew.
He was wearing an orange shirt.
I saw the guy with an orange shirt. That wasn't Gladier.
Gladier was sitting there with an orange
He
shirt.
didn't give me a what's up? Nothing? Fucking Cubans.
Whatever. But I saw them and I was like, they're not going to be willing to help.
I mean, your brother doesn't even remember what my car looks like.
I guess so. Yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you because, you didn't have to help me do that. I know you helped me just because I asked you to.
You commanded me,
but
Masa.
it was just like a nice thing for her. And I care about the 2 old ladies that live across the street from me a little bit.
That's no problem.
Yeah. So that was what I thought about, but then I completely spaced on it because I remember saying thank you earlier out there.
Yeah.
And then I didn't care about it again.
For sure.
Yeah. Just wanted to put some, instead of that shameful situation in the very beginning, now Thomas is a good man. He did a good deed.
Yeah, you good job.
People. Yeah. He was a hero.
Well,
because I kid you not, that old lady probably, like, it's not dark right now. She's probably sitting on her porch and she's probably happy as fuck that it's
that's good.
Like, she won't know that I did it because I'm not going to go and tell her. No. But she's going to be...
One day...
She's going to look at it and be like...
make eye contact and go...
Yeah.
You'll not.
But she's going to see that it's there and she's going to be like, oh, they moved it for me. I don't know who did, but, thank you. But just so you know, I've always... done that for them. Yeah. Whenever that has happened, because that's happened multiple times. Oh. One of the worst times.
What if it hits a car?
Yeah, that literally happened. So one of the times that tree specifically snapped, half of there was this huge piece that snapped. It landed on their porch. It gouged into their roof. and then it like hung off on the side of their porch. They couldn't come out of their porch.
Damn.
And I was like, literally in the rain, I saw it happen, right? And
Did you go for it?
Dude, I literally went outside the house. This is when I lived at my parents'. Went outside the house, went to the garage, grabbed the chainsaw, walked right over there.
Boom.
And just started cutting that shit down.
Saving lives today, baby.
And then I was like, hey, we're going to find out about your roof later. Let's cut this out and get this out. The next day I was on top of their roof repairing it.
Nice.
And then after that, like, that was like the worst one. Other than that, I've always moved shit like that.
Such a good Samaritan.
I try to take care of them. Because they took care of me when I was little.
Yeah.
In a non-parenting way, if that makes
gotcha.
sense.
Yeah.
Because they
watched out for you.
Right. And I like them. Because like I would just go over there all the time. I don't know why, but I would sit on the lady's porch that I would sit on. Her name is Kathy. The next door neighbor is Marianne. We helped out Marianne. But I would sit on Kathy's porch and I would just sit there for hours just talking to them about random shit. Like stuff that I didn't even know about, you know, right? And I would just be like, wow, that's really interesting. And then Kathy's husband or boyfriend, I don't actually know if they're married, but they've been together for years. He would just tell me stupid jokes all the time. Like he still tells me like dad jokes.
Nice.
100%. And I'm like, these are great, you know? But that's kind of a side note. It was just one of those appreciations.
No, I like it.
Throw that in the podcast so people know that even though you're an asshole, you're a nice asshole.
No, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
I'm an unapologetic asshole.
Yeah.
But I'm actually a nice guy.
Oh, yeah. That's literally all I was thinking about earlier. And then after that, I'm like, I don't know.
I gotcha.
Oh, as well. He was eating my food today that I cooked that I enjoyed.
Pretty good.
It's one of my better meals that I do that I wish I cooked the original way. I just wanted to try with new meat, and that meat just wasn't it. It wasn't bad.
No, but that was more for stew.
Yeah.
That was stew meat.
Yeah, it's for stew. And I really hate that it was because when you use pork, the fat on it melts.
Bro,
the fucking meat gets more tender.
You're making me horny.
That's why I'm telling you, you need to fucking... So I told him, I offered this son of a bitch half of the fucking liquid that I have in there. So it's like a sauce that I made. I told him if he wants, we have a jar, we can pour some in there for him.
All right, I'll take it.
He can take it.
You're putting me on blast.
And then he can fucking cook up some pork real quick, cut it up, throw it in there, and then swirl it around.
I just don't have any besides bacon right now.
Right, but how hard is it to go to your fucking local?
Not hard. I got 4 grocery stores right around here.
Exactly. I literally have this little Mexican place right next to my house that I go to almost every day, and I pick up some meat. Well, I don't go now because they just had a big sale on meat. This is kind of a boring side note, but they had a big sale on meat, and I went and picked it up, and we got like 3 things of like different pork, like 3 things of different chicken, and then like 2 different styles of steak, and then that one meat that I used.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So how much did that run you? $50?
So we also bought like the ingredients that I used, so it was about $80 for everything. But the quantity that we have right now,
a lot.
I don't have to go to the store for any sort of meat for like the next 3 weeks if I wanted.
That's pretty nice.
And if I wanted to do a little more, I probably could, you know?
It's pretty nice. All right. Since you put me on blast, I will take it.
Okay. That's fine.
I was considering it.
I also told him one time when he was eating the food and then he ate it and then he burped really loud. And I told him, thank you. And he looked at me like I was fucking crazy. But whenever
I said excuse me and then you just go thank you and I thought you were thanking me for saying excuse me.
Right.
But you weren't.
But I meant it as like, you know, when chefs cook food and they hear people like burp or like make some sort of noise along with the food, that's a compliment to them because they cooked something good.
No, never heard of that in my life.
You've never?
The only thing I know is that in Japan, if you're slurping, or like Korea, if you're slurping your noodles, that's a sign that it's good.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know.
You make a noise with it.
Never heard about coughing and sneezing and fucking burping.
No, not sneezing, but like burping is one of them. What the fuck was that noise? Whatever. Probably Courtney.
We'll find out shortly.
That was definitely Courtney opening a door. But yeah, no, that was just the main overall thing. I will say though, usually we don't talk about the video games that we've been playing lately. We've been playing this game, me, Pelos, McLean. Johnny played for like 5 minutes. I don't know if he's been playing at all. But we all played it, and it's called Once Human. They're
Not a sponsor.
Not sponsored at all.
Yet.
There is a big claim on them right now saying that they're just there to steal all your information and sell it on the black market.
You're telling me this before you want me to download it and play it?
Right, but they just upgraded or updated their like policy stating that no, that is not something that like some fucking person was just like, they're gonna steal all our shit because they asked for a lot of information, right? And they were like, we're not using this information for any of that stuff. We'll put it in the claim that this will never be used for this, or that. So now that it's in there, if they do use it for any of that, that's a huge lawsuit for them. So they made right with what they were saying, right? So a lot of people are like bitching and moaning about them, but the game is so fucking good. Like there's unique creatures, unique fucking gameplay. So far, my favorite thing to do is use melee weapons because I don't really like shooting guns in the game. But even the gunplay is pretty fun. Like, I think you'd like the game a lot.
Okay.
Especially because there's a lot of PvP. I have not fought anybody because, like I told you earlier, I've always been in a safe zone. But every time you come out of that safe zone, the game warns you. You are in a PvP area. Be ready. And, like, I remember this one time, me and this guy were driving. So I got a motorcycle, he got a motorcycle, and we were just driving next to each other. You can't shoot on the motorcycle. So we're driving, and he fucking hops off of his motorcycle. Because there's a thing you can do where you can just jump off really fast. He jumps off, pulls his gun out, and as he does it, I make a turn, and like I go
into the safe zone.
I go into a safe zone, and as I go, shoots, right? I barely get in, and then the bullet hits me. And you could tell that you got hit, but then it said 0 damage. Man. And I'm like...
that kind of shit pisses me
That
off.
guy outplayed me.
That's some old school RuneScape shit. Did you ever play RuneScape?
No.
So there was... RuneScape was by...
I know about the game, and I know everything about it.
Yeah, so long story short, the whole starting area is a safe zone.
Yep.
When you go past to like the fucking Forgotten Fields, I forgot what it's called, the barrier, like there's all kinds of people that spawn camp there. Me as a new player, I got up to like level 10 and like I had a bunch of gold from trading and stuff like that. I just walked over there, I got the warning thing, and I immediately got killed. From the distance, from off the screen. People would play it like, you know how you play those side-scroller games and you're off the screen?
Yeah.
You can't see that far, you know? People were like hitting me from that distance, and I'm like, who's killing her? And I died, you know? And I was a kid at the time playing RuneScape, so I didn't know what was going on with that.
That's crazy.
So it was just like how you're saying, like, I hate when people like, why can't we just be cool?
Right.
But I play DayZ, so I'm down for the traders.
DayZ, so I know you're willing to like slaughter people. I'm willing
to slaughter.
So
to survive.
The cool thing that I like about their game is you can have a clan.
Yeah.
Your clan can be as big as you want, but you can only squad up with 4 people.
Yeah.
So
keeps it fair.
Yeah, it makes it so that you cannot just be a giant wave of people. You can still do that.
Like Rust.
Yeah. But let's say you make a mistake and you shoot your friend. So like if me and you are in the same party, we can't kill each other. But if your friend's in the other party but you're still in the same clan, you could still kill him. So just because you're in the clan doesn't mean you're in the party.
Gotcha.
You know? So I think that's fair and that's kind of cool. So like if people are just throwing grenades crazy or doing whatever the fuck, you can harm everybody around you. I think that's nice.
I get you.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just a side note. I'm kind of trying to figure out what would be a good topic.
I'll download it when I get home. I don't know if I'm going to be conscious to play it, but I want to.
Just get some smelling salts.
I was just going to order them off Amazon, so.
Yeah. That's fair. But I think we pretty much covered everything we were trying to talk about this time around.
I think so.
I think it's a good time to end it here.
I agree. Closer?
Yes, we need to do a closer, and then we need to do the opener.
Right.
But afterwards. So
gotcha.
Just so you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between, and all those with 4 legs, 5 legs, 6 legs, don't give a fuck. 3 titties is good.
Feathers.
Feathers. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight's episode of Unapologetic Voices. We hope you enjoyed. Please do follow us, send us emails and comments on unapologeticvoices1@gmail.com. Please give us a rating as well on Spotify if possible. Once we upload the video edition to YouTube, if you could hit that notification bell, subscribe, and like, we'd really appreciate it. If not, go fuck yourself. Thanks for listening.